I mean,
We're
PSA
here
doesn't
at the
cost
Sheraton
much.
Kampala Hotel, and we are talking about the different cancers that affect men, with specific notion to prostate cancer, not prostrate.
Well, what?
Now, just before we went into the break, Colin, you were telling us.
I don't know why you guys have failed to admit the fact that the prostate affects how much longer you'll be able to prostrate as a man. It does. So,
We're into that.
having settled that, I think that there's a very strong connection. And two, yes, and also because of the discomfort and the stigma that's around prostate cancer, or, testicular cancer, or, I think that there would have to be a strong reason to drive me to go and have the exam. I mean, sure, I'll grow the mustache, Belinda, no offense. But really?
But isn't it scary enough to know that you could lose your life?
It is scary enough. But the world could end, Jesus could come back, anything could happen. But no. And I speak for a lot of people. And I guess that's what Ransoma said. As you grow older, then you realize the things that matter are different. And so unless there is a strong compelling reason, if you suspect that it may be hereditary, and Dr. Clark will inform on that, but if there is a reason to think, if you're getting discomfort, then I would then drag myself to and also because it's, you have to understand that the issue of the prostate, it's a defining point. You have it, you're screwed, man.
No, I don't think so. First of all, can I bring you back to what you're saying, Peter, about lifestyle and the kind of food we eat, and just our lifestyle, our general lifestyle, and how that affects our health, which in turn affects our longevity and so on, and how that is particularly important when you are right from whatever age Colin is through to Ransom's age, through to my age. But it's actually even more important when you're younger, because you will affect the different type, the risk of the different type of diseases you get. Now with prostate, it's not so, it's not very clear cut in terms of, your diet affects, what are the different influences that will affect somebody getting prostate. But with very common diseases that are coming up nowadays, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, blood vessel disease, lung cancer, and so on and so forth, they're highly related to a person's lifestyle, to what they eat, to how much they exercise, to what their weight is, to whether they smoke, to how much they drink. And those are the things that we do every day.
What is the relation in terms of genetics?
I'm going to admit that I'm a generalist,
Yeah.
I know a little about everything and not a lot about everything. So in terms of the genetics of prostate cancer, I'm not sure. Maybe Ransom, maybe you've been reading up. I should have probably read up a bit more before I came. But it's not, these things are not, the genetics of breast cancer are certainly are strong. Yes. They're certainly strong. And you heard recently somebody had a bilateral, one of those reality TV show person, she had a bilateral mastectomy.
Sharon Osbourne.
Sharon Osbourne, because the genetics are so strong on that. In prostate, I'm not so sure. I don't think they are nearly as strong in prostate. But I do come back to this. It's being detected more early, and so therefore more people are knowing they're having it. And then there's this decision, now what is the correct means of treatment? And the other thing is, you're finding people, as they do live longer, because I mean, if our life expectancy was what it was, 49 average age at one stage, now what's it raised to?
It's been raised to 52 now.
But it means that people are dying of other diseases before they, when someone lives until they're 70, 80. I have another friend, because we got two friends.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Man.
And his father's got prostate cancer, it's a big deal. And the family all rallies around, and if it's advanced, do we send them to India? There's not we don't have good radiotherapy treatment here, and so on. Although I must say there is. There's now India's coming to us a bit, and there is an Indian urologist who's coming to IHK and to another hospital, and he's doing laser treatment for big prostates and that kind of thing.
All right, and to go back to Colin's concern, is there a connection between performance, sexual performance?
Wait, before you go there, before you go into performance, I mean, if you know, Brenda was talking about breasts, and like my mind is just stuck
Thought
there.
of her breast.
No.
Okay.
Please. The idea, I mean, if women can self-examine, because you see this thing in the newspapers all the time, you know, touch, feel here, examine. Can men self-examine, or is it?
The prostate gland lies inside, so I think it would be quite difficult. Quite difficult. But men can self-examine as far as testes is concerned. And the testes, as I was saying earlier, it's the cancer that affects younger men. So it affects from 14 to 40.
Testicular cancer is in younger men.
It's in younger men. And so men definitely should self-examine as far as, you know, they obviously they know their balls, their testicles, and they can see if there's any lumps or bumps and stuff on that. And if there is, then they can go along to their doctor and get a scan. It's a very easy thing in testicular cancer. You get a standard scan. It's not like a CT scan, just the ultrasound scan, and it will show up. But it's testicular cancer is quite rare.
Yeah, and talking about testicular cancer, you are a survivor of testicular cancer. A lot of people, a lot of men.
How much do you know about people?
Oh, trust me, I know. If I was to bring out your file, everybody would run away. But you know, men are very protective of their
family jewels.
Their family jewels, yes. And when it comes to the issues of testing, a lot of people are shy. You know, a lot of people will say, "Oh no, you know what?" And as I mentioned, some people are not even comfortable talking to their own friends, guys within their own circles, about some of these things. What are the things somebody can look out for? We talked about self-testing, where testicular cancer is. What kind of lumps? Because as a man, already you have 2 lumps. So is it that, your testicles? I mean, so what should a man look for? Because we're looking at early detection of testicular.
But I think, I mean, I bring up the testicular cancer because we're on Mo for November, which is prostate cancer, which is increasingly common. But more or less, I mean, Belinda's saying you can get even from 40s, because there have been younger men, you know, who've got it, but it's generally from that 50 age group up. But the young men from age 14 to 40 is when testicular cancer would occur. And it's a very easy thing to check your testicles. You know, is there any lumps, or do you feel any different? You know, has one become harder than the other, or something like that? But it is also quite rare. I mean, compared to prostate cancer, testicular cancer is rare. The thing with testicular cancer is that I mean, I got it 20 years ago, and then actually I got a recurrence about 11 years ago. But to explain that, people won't quite understand. Basically, any cancer will start with the primary site. So for the prostate, it's in that prostate gland. Very different from your testicles, okay? And with the testicular cancer, it's in the reproductive cells of the testes. The same like the woman can get ovarian cancer. So it's that equivalent, what we call germ cell cancer. It's a different thing. And both ovarian cancer and testicular cancer are very aggressive. Certainly testicular cancer in particular. What happens is the cells seed into the bloodstream, and it seeds then into the lymphatics, and it seeds into the lungs. And I saw, so the first I knew was when I had backache. Now I'm going back 20 years now. I had backache. I was working in Luero at the time. And I thought it was the bad roads and the potholes. I'm so preoccupied with potholes.
Yeah, bad history with them.
So I thought it was the bad roads, and eventually, but this backache was increasing, and eventually, just as general screening, I did a blood test, and I did a X-ray of the chest, and I had 60% of my lungs were covered with cancer. And at that point, and I was one of the odd ones, because I had not detected it. I had examined, but I had not detected it, and so I thought I was gone. That was it, you know. And for some time, until I went back to Northern Ireland and so on, I was absolutely sure I was going to die. Absolutely sure. And then when the funny thing was, when they diagnosed and they said, "Oh, the primary's in the testes," it was kind of a scene of rejoicing, because I was like, here's a guy sitting in the corner of a hospital going, "Oh, like, you've got cancer, you know, you've got to spread through your whole body, what's wrong with you?" But I knew medically that the chances, Lance Armstrong had the same thing. And so the chances of even an aggressive and advanced cancer as I had were much better, and as I'm still here. today. And I have to, because this is a question that people ask about this. Does he still function? You know, is the guy still a man, or did he become a eunuch? You know, but you have two, okay. So even if you lose one, you know, and so I had one removed, and I had, you know, the chemotherapy, and it was amazing in my lungs. It melted away. It melted. My chest X-ray is clear now. I do jog, you know, and then about 9 years after that, it popped up again in my neck. I got this egg came up in my neck, and it was the same thing. It was a little seed that had been hanging around my body, and just decided it would come to life again. Yeah. So I had to go through and have but fortunately I've been fine since then, and I don't think it will.
Great stuff. Now we've got to go into a break, and when we come back, we will be starting with Miss Moswag. This is your show. We're at the Sheraton Kampala Hotel, and we are talking about the different cancers that affect men. Don't forget, we want to hear from you. Go to our Facebook page, like it. Call it easy. Give us your comments. You can also send us an SMS on 6565. It's all on your screen. Or send us a private email. That's men@ntvuganda.co.ug. We'll be right back.